Peace, family. It's your brother Cool. This is for my merge right here. You know what I'm saying? So you already know what time it is. It's time to build. Merge. It's time to build. Alright? Like the prophet ordained that we all should build. You know what I'm saying? And pay homage and respect. Pay homage and respect to those who came before us. You know what I'm saying? So, that being said, fam, today is all about the Moorish Science Temple of America. You know what I'm saying? And what is the Moorish Science Temple of America, first off? Now, like me, if you're thinking that it was or is a religious 501c3 skull and bone agreement tax kickback, you know what I'm saying, under the Lyndon B. Johnson presidency, then no, that is not what the Moorish Science Temple of America is. Maybe the Moorish Science Temple reorganized after the original reorganization. Anything after 1928 is not of the Prophet. What the Prophet did and took care of was the Moorish Science Temple of America. First, he founded the Canaanite Temple in Newark, New Jersey in 1913. Then he organized, or he incorporated, the Moorish Science Temple of America once he had moved down to Chicago. He went and filed that down in Cook County. Now, before then, in 1926, it was originally incorporated as the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, right? The Moorish Holy Temple of Science in 1926. Then by 1928, the Illinois Revised Statutes, according to Hertson's Revised Statutes, came into play, and the religious Corporation Act came into play. So once those two things came into play, the Prophet officially incorporated or reincorporated the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and reorganized it and changed the name of that entity to the Moorish Science Temple of America. And it incorporated it, like I said, under the Religious Corporation Act as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. Meaning it's a church and state all in one beautiful package. All right, called the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, this is the beautiful part about what the Prophet laid for us. He did majority of the work, but he didn't do all of it, because we still got to think. All right, he can't be here to think for us. That's why his main mission was to get the Moors thinking again. If I can only get you Moors thinking again. So this is what we started thinking about. The Prophet already established an ecclesiastical body politic known as the Moorish Science Temple of America. That is the church, right? Now within the church, okay? Listen to me very carefully now. Listen to me very carefully. Within the church, we have our own set of rules, laws, bylaws, and constitutions in which we live according to. Okay? So, by the Prophet establishing, okay, what we call today the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, there's a 501c3, okay, but as an ecclesiastical body politic. You know what's another ecclesiastical body politic? The Vatican. And, just to bring some enlightenment to you, the Vatican came into existence in 1929. 1 year after the Prophet established the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is the original quote-unquote Vatican. Because the Vatican we have today established their entity a year later, according to the same structure that the Prophet established the Moorish Science Temple of America, 1928. All right? Therefore, being a religious corporation, an ecclesiastical body politic, right? Because a state is a body politic. So what he created was an ecclesiastical, meaning a private, secured, holy, unincorporated, all right, state of citizenship. It's not being a citizen or member of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not corporate citizenship, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is not a 501c3. It's a church with the power of a country. Okay, no different than the Vatican. Like I said, the Vatican got their structure based off how the prophet set the Moorish Science Temple of America up in 1928. Then they came and created their entity in 1929. So guess where the seats of government are for the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Vatican? That's right, you guessed it, my brother and my sister. It's right there in Cook County, Illinois. You want to find the seat of the Vatican? Cook County, Illinois. The same way, if you want to find the seat of the corporate United States, you'll find their seat of government in the District of Columbia. So you got to understand, the same things are being done. So the prophet created our estates. He made sure our society was protected and secured. As long as we know who we are, we study, gain the understanding so we can exercise. The rights that we have already been blessed with. We already got them. We just got to put them into action, put them into execution. All right, and a lot of the differences amongst us Moors is that we're not really comprehending or understanding what the prophet did. We're not really comprehending that the Moorish Science Temple of America is so much more than just a building in Cook County. That is not what the Moorish Science Temple of America is. The Moorish Science Temple of America is an empire, the Moorish Empire. And the way that Prophet Ali set it up, he set it up in such a way that if no heirs come in the name of the empire, then he continues to stand as the Sultan, whether he's here or not. That's how he set it up. So until we take our place in the affairs of men and reclaim that which is ours and put it into exercise, okay, Noble Ali is the Sultan. I have no problems with that. But as you can see, his message to us is we must embody that, not to sit there and idolize someone like, oh, he's a sultan. No, you a sultan, and you're a sultana. Mother, man is sultan, mother is sultana, or sultaness, but sultaness derives from sultana. Okay, so the sultan and the sultana, that's what the prophet's trying to get you back to. Come back to the ancient ways and principles of your foremothers and forefathers. Come back to the ancient ways of thinking. Come back to the ancient ways of thinking so you can see things clearly as they are. We can't expect to see our empire through European eyes. All right? And like I said, for those Moors who are out here today talking about the Moorish Science Temple of America and not understanding what the hell the Moorish Science Temple of America is. Once again, the Moorish Science Temple of America is an ecclesiastical body, politic, and corporate. Let me show you how ill Prophet Ali was. I'm going to show you how ill he was. How he established it, the Moorish Science Temple of America, according to the Religious Corporation Act. Now, you should read the Religious Corporation Act, right? So you can comprehend exactly what the Religious Corporation Act entails. What the Religious Corporation Act entails is that any group, any church, any society, any congregation of people with a like mind and a goal can establish for themselves a form of government in which they can move forward and secure themselves economic welfare, social welfare, and community welfare. You know what I'm saying? So, in order, right? So in order to be a proper, and the reason why I'm keeping going because I actually forgot that point, so I'm gonna let it spiral back around. But in order, okay, to fall in line with how the prophet has things laid out in terms of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you gotta understand, if we're thinking about sultans and sultanas, we gotta think about ancient dynasties, empires. We can't think in the form of cities, states, nations, because prior to that, the only thing in existence was dynasties and empires. So the Moorish Science Temple of America is the last. This is why they call. This is why Prophet Ali is the last prophet, because there's no one else who's going to come after this man and set that thing up. It's already been done. There's no one who's going to come behind that man and set this up for us the way he set it up. That's why he's the last prophet. There ain't no more coming after him, because that is the ultimate thing he could have set up for us. He did all the work for us. All we got to do is carry it on. Carry on the mission. You understand what I'm saying? And in carrying on the mission, we will fulfill our purpose. And also we fulfill our birthrights. And we establish and secure our birthrights as people. But in order to do that, you got to come under Morocco, B. Because this is Morocco. This is Al-Marak, man. This ain't America. America's modern. That's a distorted name. This is Al-Marak. Okay? So, understanding that, and when the prophet brought this flag out of the Benjamin Franklin room, this is our flag, man. This is our government right here. So like I stated in one of my previous videos, you got to understand, the red, white, and blue, that's for the corporate United States. That's what America looks like to them. That flag. Red, white, and blue, 50 stars, white and red stripes. That's what America represents for them. This is what America represents for us. Red flag, 5-pointed green star. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You have the blood. And then you have Venus or copper. Okay? Copper. Copper-colored people. You understand? It all comes back to us. It's all our own science. You know what I'm saying? So this is what the prophet... Peace, family. You know what I'm saying? So this is what the prophet left for us. He left us the original Vatican. And in the Vatican we see today, they actually copied off of what the prophet did. And then they established themselves as such. But the prophet put it down first. So that just shows you. I say that so you can see the weight, the magnitude of what this man did. The Pope came behind this man and established an entity just like his, except they called his the Vatican. And instead of a sheikh, he calls himself a pope. Right? So, understanding that, I would like to think that we can appreciate what we have as a people now. Okay? So the prophet didn't leave us high and mighty. You know what I'm saying? He left us in a perfect position where we can go back to the ancient ways and thoughts of our ancestors and be successful in this modern day and time without having to contradict our own selves and who we are as people. Like, I don't got to change who I am to fit in. I could just be and be. You know what I'm saying? I'll fit in everywhere. I'm like the key that fits into every lock. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my understanding. My understanding is universal because teachings of the prophet when it comes to nationality and civics and government and organization and community, these are universal teachings. They apply to everyone, everywhere. They even apply to beings on other planets. This is basic fundamental rule for coexistence amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? This is how we coexist. So, in order to coexist, we must be ourselves. In order to be ourselves, we must be citizens or repatriate back to our government. To repatriate back to our government's called the Moorish Science Temple of America, G. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that there wasn't no Moors before the prophet. We were always in existence. There's never been a time where man has not been. So we've always been here. What I'm telling you is, from what has transpired from the time that we got here to this point, you know what I'm saying? The prophet laid it down in a way to where we can be secure. Even though we strayed so far from the source, he made it so that we can tap back, meaning we can literally time travel back to that state and still function today. You know what I'm saying? So, wow, man. Like, I am wowed at this man. Wowed at this man's work. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. Don't bash the Moorish Science Temple of America. Understand it, understand it, then overstand it. Because if you just understand the Moorish Science Temple of America, then you don't know the Moorish Science Temple of America. Read about what the Prophet laid down. Read the statutes, the Herzen's revised statutes. Read how this ecclesiastical body politic and corporate operates and functions, and what you need to do to get your ecclesiastical body politic and corporate running in alignment, in harmony with what the Prophet is laying down. How to attach or how to dock your ship back into your damn land, back into your port. All right? The Moorish Science Temple of America is our port. So therefore, we should be docking all of our ships, all of our property, all of our conveyances into the name of our trust that gains its authority from the Moorish Science Temple of America. Oh, and you have to have this in writing, G. Now, mind you, if you want to see this, go to the last podcast I put up about a week ago. All right, called well, I actually forgot the name of it, but I was referencing literally. It's the last podcast I did. All the podcasts that I do have the 7-pointed star with the state seal of my government in there. You know what I'm saying? On my congregation, on my society. All right, a Sunel. So that is the emblem for my society that is attached to the Moorish Empire. So you see, you gotta start operating, man. So when we have documents, we are sealing our documents with our seal, man. Come back to being ecclesiastical, man. Ecclesiastical. That means come back to holy law. All right? Because when you're talking about ecclesiastical, you're talking about something that's sacred, godly. Become godly. We don't need to be godly like. We just need to be godly. Let's go back to being godly. So in order to be godly, we must repatriate back to our godly form of government, which is, to be very clear, okay? And let's be very clear. The Moorish Science Temple of America, all right, being that it's ecclesiastic, wow, it's a beautiful bee. Being that it's ecclesiastical, bees don't bother me, by the way. Bees actually fly around. If you did the study from watching Jupiter Ascending, bees actually fly around you because they can smell the royalty in the blood. Because bees too are royalty. You understand? So the only reason why bees will come around you is because they're smelling themselves. All right? So please, don't hit the bees. Don't speak evil. Don't give evil energy to the bees. Because if all the bees go, all plant life on this planet dies. 2 years max. So if there ain't no plant life, then we better help. We better go back to, you know what I'm saying? We better go back to sunlight and water, if you ask me. Thank you, ancestor. You see it flying right in my face? You see it flying right in my face? That's beautiful, man. It senses my energy. It wants to be around me. It senses family. Islam. So, you know what I'm saying? Understanding that the Prophet left behind everything we need. That's why he said, I brought you everything you need to save a nation. So, the nation is saved, y'all. Save yourselves. It's not the nation that needs to be saved, because the Prophet already saved the nation. That's why he said, I have, damn. And I hate paraphrasing because I want to get his words exact, but in a paraphrasing type of form, you know what I'm saying? I've done everything that is needed to save the nation. So pretty much, like I said, he did everything in his power to establish the nation. The nation is saved. We don't need to save the nation. We need to save ourselves. Meaning we need to tie ourselves back to the nation, because the nation is sovereign. We are not. You understand? Example. Think about it like this. When you make your trust, right? When you create your trust becomes your sovereign. right? Because you're working for your trust. You work for yourself. You created your trust. So therefore now you work for your trust. You serve your trust. Your trust has certain rules, bylaws, constitutions, divine laws, and protocols to follow. You have to serve, right, your prince or your princess or your emperor, empress, which would be your trust. You serve it. You become the servant of your trust. Right? Because the student is the teacher, but the teacher can't be a teacher if the teacher is not a student. A good teacher is a good student, and a good student is a great teacher. Okay? So, understand that. Understand that. Understand, overstand. Okay? So, if the nation is sovereign within itself, like I said, it's a Vatican established. And this man is so cold upon establishing it that it's ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. However, you do not need to get a business license to establish it. No, 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 no. Once again, read the Religious Corporation Act so you can comprehend what is really taking place. Once you file an affidavit of organization on record in the specific format that's laid out within the Hurston's Revised Statutes, and you file it in the recorder's office, and you have a certified copy as substantial evidence and proof that this is on the record, then guess what? You now have within your possession a certified and official operating ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. Meaning you don't got to get on the phone or you don't got to get on the pen and pad and send something off to the Secretary of State. You ain't got no business with them. You exist. You exist automatically as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. No need for no damn business license. Power. But that's the power of ecclesiastical trust law. This is why I say trust law is the highest form of law. But I didn't realize how high of a form of law it was until I seen what the prophet did, man. All right? So this is why I go so hard, man. Because I go so hard because we've been playing around. It's been over 100 years. We should be running all these communities. We should have been retaking our place in the affairs of men, man. But we got these Moors out here who be playing with the people, man. They playing. And they want to do this little sect group thing. You're part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, but you're not because you're not in the temple. This is the temple which God dwelleth within, man. I never left the temple. I'm a Moor. Therefore, this is a Moorish temple of science. Where's my temple at? It's in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Okay? So we need to stop this, man. It's been too long. We should have communities built up to the yin yang. We should have been surpassed ourselves in what we did back then. But Moors have been playing around. And so this is why I bang as hard as I bang when it comes to trust law, nationality, international law. I don't just sit here and talk to you on phone. You know what I'm saying? I go in depth. I let you see how I be building. I go in. I read till I comprehend. Then I can come here and relay the message in a much more simpler form. But I do study. That's why I do my podcast, so you can see where I'm getting my information from. What I'm reading up on. How do I know what I know? I'm reading nothing but facts. Congressional records, ratified laws, constitutions, Supreme Court case laws, federal state statute documents, treaties, everything you could possibly think of. I'm in there researching and reading because I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to speak lies. I want my breath to be in balance. And the only way for that to be in balance is I have to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me Allah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to always give you the truth, straight up. I don't like to look over my shoulder. I hate that. I really, really do. I hate looking over my shoulder. I always prefer to just be honest, man. So, under, inner, and overstanding that, the nation is sovereign. So when people ask me, am I a U.S. citizen? No, I'm not. Am I a USA citizen? No, I'm not. Then what am I a citizen of? I'm a citizen of the Moorish. I'm a citizen of the Moorish. I'm a citizen of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's not complicated. Which government are you a citizen of? The government I am a citizen of is the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. The seat of government is located in Cook County, Illinois. Same location as the Pope. Give me 1 second, y'all. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to wrap this up real quick. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we need to come back home, all right? And stop following all these Moors. Read, do the research, qualify them. If someone says something that don't sit right with you, or if someone says something that do sit right with you, look it up anyway, because man know not by being told. You ain't going to know this by just me telling you. If you think your mind is going to build a memory and then build a structure and confidence in the information just by listening to what I'm saying, nah. You got to go in. You got to dig. Go into that rabbit hole. See with your own eyes. Read with your own lips. Hear with your own ears. So you can make the determination that this is what it is, based off of what you have read, what you have seen, and what you have contemplated on, or what you have considered upon. Because we're star people. All right? Not just by hearing someone talk, because a lot of us can sound good. But how many of us are actually speaking things of substance? We can all speak nice words that don't have shit in them. They're hollow as fuck. So I'm talking about speaking substance. I'm talking about quality. It's not about a lot of words. It's about the words that I do use. That's why I say simplify. I don't want to complicate. I don't want to hit you with a whole bunch of fancy, long, abbreviated, more than 3-syllable words. Nah. Simplify. Because when I simplify, then the intelligence kicks in. Then after a while, using those big words is kind of like, when you learn a new dance. Once you learn the basics, then you can add your own flavor. It's no different than when you're speaking. So once you learn the basics, then you can start adding your own flavor. Conspiracy, negligence, you know what I'm saying? Declarations, you know what I'm saying? Interrogatories, discoveries, you know what I'm saying? All these things become like, oh, okay, it's just your personality now. Now you start to get creative because you understand the basics. And the basics are always simple. The basics are never complicated. If you want to understand a tree, put it like this. Let me rephrase that. If you want to understand the source of something, right? If I say the tree is the information and the seed of that tree is the source, I'm not going to understand the tree by just looking at the tree. If I want to best analyze and get a full understanding and comprehension of the tree, then I got to go right to the seed. And then I can see what everything the tree is made of. So go to one source instead of going to a whole bunch. Simplify. And that's all I got to speak on that, fam. Islam, I self-law master, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Thank you to the Prophet, El Haj Sharif Abdul Ali. Thank you for your blessings and the work you've done. You know what I'm saying? I'm awake. I'm going to keep it going. I hope you're awake, and I hope you realize that he left it for you, his faithful Moors. Keep it going. Or just sit idly by and watch your government collect dust. I ain't in the business of that no more. So, with that, fam, peace, love, and light.